Take note.
Big Beach.
We're here.
My man, Alan,
It's different this time.
What's up, guys?
It was a jubilant night for the Knicks in many ways. Fans back. Julius Randle, NBA All-Star. We did a video on it before, guys. Go check it out. Enjoy the content as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. The YouTube mantra here. But we lose tonight, 114 to 106. The Knicks falter late. Steph Curry, too good. But the refs tonight, I thought they killed us. I thought they were all over us. I thought, while I don't like to harp on the refs because I feel like when they're bad for everyone. Even if it's not in the same game, they'll be good for you one game, then bad for you the next game. Though, and I know I'm biased, it feels like the Knicks never really get a bunch of calls. That said, tonight, I really thought they kind of, I don't say it's ruined the game. It made it tough for us. But overall, you got to control what you can't control. We couldn't stop Curry. We couldn't stop the Warriors in the fourth and definitely the third. And we lose tonight.
Right. I mean, we had such a great first half. And I called you and I said to you, listen, I think it was a great first half. But what's going to happen in the third quarter is that Golden State is going to step up. They are a playoff caliber team. They know how to do that. Steph Curry by himself knows how to do that. And, they outscored us in the third quarter, 39 to 26. Even though in the fourth quarter, we then outscored them by 1 point, 21 to 20, yeah. Right? But really at that point, they didn't blow us out at all. We actually kept really well with the game. And to be honest, you just said the refs, unfortunately, it seems to us, and I don't really watch too much of any other basketball from any other team, but it seems that over the years, the Knicks just seem to get that raw deal when it comes to the refs. And if anything, I would have thought that the refs might have called a teensy-weensy bit more so in our favor tonight in light of Julius Randle getting a place in the All-Star team. Julius Randle's mother making that beautiful, beautiful dedication and message to her. The fans being back in the state, and I always say stadium, in the arena.
Yeah. I
would have thought like if at any time that the refs might have been like, let's give the Knicks, one hit. And then, wait, hold on. And the worst part, Randle gets 2 technical fouls and gets ejected from the game. What was that about?
I thought it's funny. I watched Randle going off at the end, and I'm like, I was ready to just scream at the refs. I'm like, in so many ways, like them capping the game off by ejecting Randle summed up that whole thing. The refs gave a ridiculous technical tonight in another game to I think it was Giannis. Who did he dunk on? He dunked on someone, and he just got on Cat, I think, and he made a face, and he gave a tech. Listen, I grew up on 90s basketball, so obviously I'm always biased towards it, but. I know the league had changed, and some things are good. I definitely think a lot of 90s ball, we do talk about it like it was so perfect. It wasn't that perfect all the time.
It was
a little bit too, yeah. But the truth is, like, they gotta let these guys be humans, man. Like, you scoring, it's not even that crazy what they're doing, and they're getting called for techs and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. Knicks cannot stop Steph Curry.
Right.
He is so, the thing about Curry, and I knew we knew he wanted to play tonight. He hasn't played in the Garden for like 2 years because of COVID and everything, injuries, blah, blah, blah. And he had that crazy game against us that kind of launched his career in many ways in 2013 when he scored
50-point game or something, or no?
54 points at the Garden. We won the game, by the way. People always forget.
Yes, we did. We did win the
game. We won that game, but that game kind of, I wouldn't say launched his career because Curry was already killing it, but in many ways that national spotlight put him on another level. And he loves the Garden. He loves playing here with 2,000 fans or 20,000 fans. You can see he was having a blast tonight. And we did some things to try to scheme on him. I thought in the second half, I liked some of the double teams that we were throwing at him, making things a bit more complicated, making other guys beat us on the team. But like I think you mentioned this before as well, the Warriors, too good, too coached, and they looked like they knew what they were doing.
Didn't they also win the last 6 games that they played against us?
Oh yeah, they've been killing us.
Right. The last 6 games they played against us here at home, and they lost their last 2 games. As in right now. Yeah. So, when a team like that is on a losing streak, I think what the stat was, they said they haven't lost more than 2 games in a row, and they haven't won more than 2 games in a row, something like that. I might be off with that, so don't quote me on that for sure. But they lost the last 2 games. So you know how that goes. You're coming into this arena now, they're hearing the fans. The fans actually egging them on too, like Kobe style, right? Like that used to like really egg him on.
Yeah.
I could see that happening there also. And I kind of had that feeling. I called you and I had that feeling that the third quarter or even fourth that they were just going to step their game up. We did, however, still have an opportunity to win. And I want to talk about Julius Randle, our guy, all-star team. I mean, wow. Like, this was fantastic. And then, hold on. That was fantastic. His mother talking on the screen was beautiful moment. His wife and his son there, beautiful. And then he gets ejected for a second technical foul. I didn't see the first one. I heard them talk about it, and I was like, what did he say? And then the second one, I did sort of see him say something. But I felt that, the refs, if they're going to be fair, unfair, whatever, tonight was a night to kind of let some stuff slide.
It's not even letting some stuff slide. I think they straight up made bad calls. The ref, you know what it is?
He shouldn't have been ejected. He should have been ejected. That wasn't a nice look. That wasn't a nice look.
But the thing is, the refs get to the Garden, they see fans are back, and they're like, woo, I can be the star tonight. That's what happened. I don't even talk about the refs anymore. Let's talk about Randle. It's weird because it's like a bittersweet night in the end. We do lose all to 15 and 17. Every time we get close to 500, it just gets taken away from us. Regardless, beautiful night for Randle, man. Watching him give that speech before the game, they knew what they were doing. Perfect guy to put out there. He gets MVP chance. He has to slow down and take a breath. It's just like, oh. I loved it because at that point, everyone's looking at him. It's the one thing that he's doing before the game. His wife is there, like you said, his son. His mom does that thing on the Jumbotron. When am I going to get you on the Jumbotron saying nice things about me? I want to Julius Randle.
I will say nice things about you right here, son. It's so good.
It was beautiful. And funny enough, this is kind of more about the grander scope of things, not just like this specific game. I'm watching this moment and everyone's going crazy on Twitter. I'm calling you, we're happy and smiling. It actually felt like this whole like, oh my God, the Knicks are just good. It's good things. It's good basketball on the court. We have an all-star who's so likable. He has a great family. His mom is there. Everything just, the fans are back. The whole thing has felt so enjoyable. And I think that's what the season has been, though. There are, like, it's not perfect. We're still under 500. We got some work to do, but the expectations, we've clearly passed it. And just a good vibe around the Knicks now, even though specific things right now are a little bit annoying at times and not working. And I want to bring up this guy, a guy I've been defending a lot, RJ Barrett. Got to give him props for the 10 boards. He always gets rebounds and does something else when his shot isn't falling. But RJ's getting a bit selfish. I'm noticing, and RJ's selfishness is a little bit different from some other guys, right? RJ isn't just taking the ball, clearing out, and like, just like, oh, I'm going to shoot. And which is why I'm not worried about it, right? The reason I'm not worried about it is RJ's selfishness that pops up every now and then seems to come from him just not really taking the game, not slowing down for him at times. And it's gotten better for him at times, and sometimes it's not, but he's just not keeping his eye up, his head up and his eyes open. I mentioned this on Twitter. I said, imagine me saying that RJ could learn from Julius Randle how to not just hold the ball and pass. And that's why I kind of feel like Randle made that adjustment. I'm watching RJ and he's going to the rim. We already spoke about that. RJ is not a high jumper. He's not a super elite guy that can just get up there and like dunk on everyone or hit a crazy layup. So sometimes he's going to the rim. And I want him going to the rim. He's not a great shooter. It's fine. But he needs to look for shooters more. There are multiple times where guys were open. But RJ, I think he had already made that decision that he's going to the rim, trying to score. And I definitely felt tonight, like we have in a couple of the recent games, he's been pressing a little bit too much. And I do wonder, in some capacity, if the fans there tonight had RJ a little bit more too amped for the game and has seen Julius take this step up to be like a legit star. Remember, in a weird way, not that I don't think RJ is internalizing this as much, but RJ was the guy that was personally loved before Julius in terms of value. He was the guy that everyone just liked no matter what. Now you could, let's be real, it's flipped to Julius. There was this talk before of RJ, how does it work with RJ? And we've even said it, but now it's kind of like, well, if it doesn't work with RJ, how does it work with Julius? Meaning like now the main focus is Julius. And this isn't to say anything about RJ long term. I trust RJ long term to figure it out. I think he's got the right thing in his mind, but he's been pushing a little bit and not really taking a step back sometimes. Yeah,
tonight obviously not really good stats there. I was hoping, and I've said it in some of the videos you did before, I was hoping to see some consistency from him in, I think it was about 12 to 15 points sort of range. Like we need to be getting that from him consistently for him to be like a significant role player on the team. Like we really do. So is it an off day? Is it an off few games? What does he have to work on? Are the coaches not paying him attention? Is he a gym rat like the other guys? Because I'm hearing that a lot of these are gym rat guys.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're seeing? Because you know basketball so much better than me. What are you seeing in his game? Okay, so we know he's a little slower in his movement. Right. We know that he can't jump really high. So he's not like that super athletic guy, but he's more that big, strong sort of tumble guy. So what can he improve on? He's making his rebounds. He's not always scoring. So what are we looking for from him?
It's his IQ. It's his basketball IQ right now. I think RJ's and it's weird because one of the things I praised RJ for last year, and even earlier in the season, I definitely think he was doing it, was even though he's a young player who is touted as a star or whatever, always looked to pass. And I feel like in a weird way this season, and Elfrid Payton, by the way, is also suffering from this in a weird way. In a weird way, like, I don't know if it's because of Randall or because we're just good. I am seeing guys, I don't want to call it selfishness because I don't think that they don't want everyone to succeed and they're not happy to share the rock. But it does feel like times that guys are making decisions about I'm going to the rim a little bit too soon and not keeping their eye up for the better basketball play. I will defend RJ in the sense that the spacing is not ideal. We know Elfrid cannot shoot some of these possessions I'm talking about. RJ is going to the rim, and the guy that's waiting for the three is Elfrid. So maybe RJ's second guessing it, like, okay, Elfrid's not going to hit that shot, or he's not, really a good shooter. Right. So maybe it makes more sense for me to go for it. But there was a play at the end of the. Oh, what's up?
Sorry, that translates to me in not having the faith in your fellow player, right?
Well, it's Elfrid making a shot.
Right. So you're saying that he's seeing whoever else in the corner and like saying, I'm not going to throw it to them. I'm going to try. So is that a play that like the coach says, hey, this is the play, or is that the play that the player is like, no, I'm going to take.
These aren't set plays. You're not running a set play for Elfrid to get a shot, right? Like Elfrid shooting the ball at the end of a play is never a play you want to design.
Right.
What it is, and I don't think it's him not trusting players. I think it's spacing, and you cannot trust a player with a specific thing, right? Like for example, I'm going to bring up Frank just because he defends. You would watch Frank Ntilikina defending someone in a clutch moment potentially, right? Last year we saw him, he defended Doncic. You wouldn't want him taking the shot in the last moment. You would want someone better. So I feel like with Elfrid and the spacing sometimes, RJ's just getting tunnel vision. He's getting to the rim. He's not keeping his head up. And he's making his decision in his head and not playing free. Another guy not playing free. And I think it's fun to bring up because it shows you how this stuff works. I brought up the analogy on Twitter. Me and Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. It's above. It's right there, guys. It's so easy. Emmanuel Quickley is thinking. And he wasn't thinking before. And I said the analogy I brought up was Emmanuel Quickley now is kind of like a baby who was thrown into water and was swimming like crazy in week 3. And now the kid is 3 years old and he knows about drowning.
Wow. Yeah. He was playing so free before, like literally like he was playing, street ball. And so now it's like he's getting into the more, and that could also be some of the development coaches talking to them as well, right? When they start listening to stats and you start listening to like the logistic and the mathematical part of the game, if you will, is that starting to mess with him a little bit? Not mess with him, but is he taking that on? So now he's thinking more analytical as opposed to just freely playing?
I think it could be. So I definitely think it could be some of that. I think. Well, one, when you start off in the NBA, no one cares about you unless you're a big star, like a big guy, rookie year, people know you. Once you start doing well, you start rising up that scouting report, right? I think you might have mentioned this in a previous video. The scouting report is basically layered for like who to care about the most, right? Yeah. Playing Steph Curry, he's at the top of it. I think Alan Hahn even mentioned it. When you start rising up that scouting report, there's just different levels of attention paid to you.
Yeah.
It's very clear. Listen, IQ is a big part of what we want to do this season and what we have done so far. It's not like he's just some rookie who's doing well. He's a rookie that was doing well and winning games for us, right? So obviously, if you're trying, the Knicks don't have much shooting, so you're trying to stop the Knicks. There's only like a couple of shooters you got to stop. You stop quickly off 2-pointers, That's a big impact. His floater, I don't think he scored a floater in 5 games. Teams have 100% adjusted to it. If you notice, they're coming down the lane, they know what he's going to do. And the thing about IQ is he doesn't take jump shots. So actually, like we were watching his floater earlier in the season, and he's killing it with the floater, and it's exciting to see. But he actually does not take any jump shot that's not a three. So in a weird way, now it's like very limiting because you can see teams are like, well, he's not going to shoot. He's going to turn around and pass the ball back out.
Right.
So I think, listen, it's maybe a little bit of the rookie wall. I do think some of it is Derrick Rose, not Derrick Rose himself, but the trade. Because to show you tonight, Elfrid Payton plays 34 minutes, which is more than he should. But Elfrid was better tonight. He was decent tonight. Derrick Rose plays 27 minutes, and IQ plays 13 minutes.
Right.
My worry for the whole thing was is Elfrid and Rose going to end up kind of being the 2-point guards, and Quickly's going to be more like sometimes he's a point guard, sometimes he's not.
Which you don't really want that, right?
You don't want that because IQ is the guy he's the only guy that you know is going to be here after this season. Yeah. He has 13 minutes tonight, 3 points. He was plus 12, all right? And that second unit actually tonight was pretty good. Yeah. He didn't shoot well, 1 for 4 from 3. But I definitely think IQ is also a rhythm kind of guy too. And I feel like he probably needs more minutes to feel.
You're right. 13 minutes is not enough for him. He needs to get out there. And so, you said he's a rhythm guy. He does typically come out kind of hot, like right off the bat, right? He comes off hot, and then when he comes off hot, then he is able to have that rhythm. That second unit has a faster pace as well in how they play, right? And so, yeah, he is going to need to learn a different shot because the 3-pointer, actually, you know what? He's great at the free throw line, as we know, like 93%, right? Excellent there. He's making those floaters, so he's not making the floaters because, as you said, the game planning for him now. So it's kind of like, all right, this young kid thought he was going to come in here and do this. Oh, no, we got you.
Right.
We're knocking that down. So he'll be fine though. I think he has the right attitude, the right energy. He's a gym rat, like I said. I think all of them are. So he'll be fine. The coaches will get on him and they'll get him to that next level. He now reach.
Yeah, as they say in Trinidad. IQ, I'm not worried about him, but you brought up the 3-pointers. So he didn't get to the free throw line tonight, which is a problem for him because he's at 93%,
I think. Yeah.
And not just that. There are guys who can hit free throws, but he can also get fouled. He didn't get fouled tonight.
Right.
IQ not having any free throws is crazy because it's like one of the best things he does, but it also ties back into him playing 13 minutes. Right? Yeah. IQ played 20 minutes tonight. And he wasn't great. I'm not trying to say he was great tonight. Clearly, Elfrid did deserve more minutes tonight. Even though Elfrid, I'm going to bring it up, he scored 20 points, but he shot 19 times, which is the second most on the team. Elfrid Payton is not a good shooter. He's not necessarily a good offensive player. He's okay. He can get to the lane really well, but he does miss quite a few layups. But still, Elfrid can get to the lane well, but there's no good basketball team where Elfrid Payton is taking the second most shots on the team. Right. He was minus 22 tonight. And look, all the starters weren't really good. Basically, this game was a weird game where the starters of the Warriors blew out our starters. Then our bench came in and blew out the Warriors bench. And then once their starters came back in, they beat us again. Right. So I think, in a way, you could look back to Tibbs' lineups and think the lineup should have had a lot more of a mix. I think Reggie Bullock, who I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think Reggie's another player that needs to be replaced in the starting lineup eventually. He didn't play in the fourth much till late. And I thought we were struggling. I thought his 3-point shooting could have helped. So I think there's some lineup things for Tibbs overall. Obi tonight, look, Obi comes in, he's okay, hits that big 3, but then right after he's benched.
Yeah. And what didn't he score 3? Didn't he score a couple of threes? Like I want to say he had 3 threes.
No, 1. It was 1, but he was okay. Obi was 3 for 3 for 9. 3 for 3 overall. So 2, he scored 2, his 2 field goals and then the 3-pointer.
Okay.
But Obi's another thing. You see Obi play a couple minutes, do some good stuff, and then Tibbs takes him out, like almost like it's a computer program that says Obi comes out at this time no matter what. And with Mitch gone, I just want to see a little bit more. Obi only played 13 minutes.
Yeah. Just real quick, jumping back to Elfrid Payton. He can't be the second best guy on the team. He can't be giving us the second amount of points on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not. He can play on the team, but he can't be our second best player after Julius. You know what I mean?
And Alan and Wally like to bring up the stat that when he scores a lot, we win. The thing is, that's one of those things that, honestly, to me, is more conjecture than actually leading to winning basketball.
Right.
Elfrid, listen, when Elfrid is more aggressive in games that we win, we know that, right? That's clear. Alfred scoring more tends to, it probably means that, if Alfred is scoring more in that particular game, it probably means the defense isn't as good, right? I'm being honest. So I don't really tie in him playing well or him scoring a lot. More him scoring a lot. I wouldn't tie him scoring a lot.
It's us winning.
Us winning, even though it's kind of worked out that way in a way. I think that's something that over the course of the season wouldn't really pan out. And the truth is, and this is just a harsh truth, point guard and small forward are the two positions in the starting lineup that actually need replacing. If not this year, next year.
Right.
Randall, lock him in. RJ, for his struggles, you can kind of lock him in for now. Mitch, when he's healthy, locked in. Our point guard situation and our small forward situation need work. Here's the sad part about it. Franca knocks a point guard and a small forward. Technically, if things had worked out well, it would actually just fit and make sense.
Yeah.
But we are where we are. And I do think Tibbs needs to do a little bit more work with the lineups. But I don't know. Do you think the guys had a letdown tonight with the hype of everything and it was just a lot?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I was disappointed that we didn't go to the game, but I was supposed to be traveling, wasn't going to be here. But then when I saw that they lost, I was kind of like, you know what? Because I'm tired. I'm also tired.
I haven't even eaten. I'm tired. I got to get some food.
You had a ton of work to do. Congrats on your interview today.
Oh, yeah. Back writing again, guys. You hear more about
writing again, which I love. That's so great. But I was exhausted. I think you were kind of tired too. And then when I saw that they lost, I was like, we would have been bummed out. So bummed out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was a good game. I brought this up to you before the game. We beat the Warriors in Golden State. Warriors, they're not elite this season. They're probably going to be like a 6 seed just because without Clay.
Right.
Like you brought up, it's still like a championship franchise. They know what they're doing. We were probably always going to split the season series with them 1-1. Right? Mm-hmm. It's a bit unrealistic to think you're going to beat the Warriors 2-zip every, in a season like this. So I kind of get overall looking at the big picture. Yeah, we're probably going to lose this game. But given what we saw tonight, I definitely think we had a chance to win. I think RJ's got to clean up his game a little bit. And just, we can see, things have been so exciting this season and it's been a step forward. But it does show you there's still so much more to go. Because I really think, honestly, if you're looking at what this team could be just like a couple of years ahead, even next year, Reggie Bullock, I'm looking at the team, Alfred Payton, those two guys, that's kind of like the only two I really want to see. And even, honestly, Todd Gibson, who I love, and Todd Gibson gives you really good effort. He played 24 minutes tonight. When Mitch is back, he's not playing that much, right? Yeah. So you look at what this team can be, and I do think we miss Mitch. Wiseman was getting to the rim at times and finishing over Noel, and I saw us getting bullied a little bit, and I'm like, while I don't think we're going to miss Mitch initially, I could see over time. Remember, it's a long time. It's going to be like 6 weeks. And then even when he comes back, he's going to have to take like 2-3 weeks to get back into playing well. That's going to be right before the playoffs if we're still in it. So
which we're making, right?
Well, I mean, at this point, I got to think we're going to make the playoffs. But I do worry now about a potential Mitch fall off from us. Because the thing is, the Mitch thing just happened, right? And I'm watching games and, I think since Mitch, I can't tell you off the top of my head. I think since Mitch is gone, I don't know what our record is since he's been gone. But we won and lost here and there. I know it hasn't just been, us losing. Mitch went down, was it against the Magic or the Hawks? I can't remember, but basically, just so you know, the last 2 games were 1-2, right? Uh-huh. So I do worry a little bit that the Mitch thing will hurt us more over time than we're thinking right now. But I will say this, trade season is coming. Mm-hmm. We kind of spoke about trades and we're kind of leaving off of it.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about trades today. We spoke enough. It's already now. We spoke enough.
I know, but I'm just saying, just to finish on this point, I'm talking about Mitch. There's still going to be I still feel there's going to be at least 1 or 2 more changes coming to this team before the end of March. I think. You're right. I still think they'll do something else. So even how we're analyzing the team now can really change if they can swing something and get some more shooting or get another big man here or whatever, or a point guard, whatever they do. I still think there's more to come. But I think overall for the Knicks franchise, this was a good day.
Okay, fine.
It was a good day. Ice Cube, it was a good day. It was a good day. We got an all-star. It's good to see. We play the Kings next on Thursday. They've lost a ton of games in a row. I think they've lost 7 in a row. I'm not sure if they played. They lost 7 and they've lost tonight to the Nets. Okay, we lost to the Kings. I'm pretty sure in Sacramento.
So we need to
cannot lose that game on Thursday. That's one thing.
We're going to be chasing 500 for a minute.
Nah, don't do it. Guys, I know I spoke like crazy tonight. Apologies, Mom. I'm sorry, but you're tired. You're happy I spoke.
Yeah, I'm tired. I got to go to sleep. Peace out.